Hunter Pitcavage with us here in the Mendola show. He's going to be heading into his junior year at Dallas area. Football player, but also a pretty darn good javelin thrower. Let's first get to the javelin. Let's talk about your spring season there at Dallas area and what you were able to accomplish.
Yeah, I really started off with my training. That helped me a lot throughout the season, but in the beginning of the season, I didn't think I was going to do that good. My numbers weren't looking as great as they were, and I don't know if I was going to stick with it. And then finally, I got the throw off that I needed. It gave me a lot of confidence, which led me to winning districts. That really helped me. I gained a lot of confidence. It helped me with my form. And then we got in the States. We got there, and I was real nervous. Never been there. There was a lot of good throwers there, but I really held my own. Did what I had to do.
Take us through javelin. When did you first start? Picking this thing up. Were you a distance runner, a sprinter, track and field, where you're just let me just try this. Somebody in the family do it.
Yeah, I started in 7th grade. I really thought track was I'm gonna run around, have fun, maybe throw shot put. But then my dad was yeah, maybe you should throw the javelin. You're like an animal. You like to throw stuff and act like a caveman almost. And yeah, so I tried it, and honestly, it wasn't that good, so I didn't stick around. I tried running and throwing the shot put. So then 8th grade year came around, and I decided maybe that is my thing. I really gave my all into it. I got a good throw out there, and I learned yeah, this is my thing. I can do this. I can compete pretty good in this. And then came up to 9th grade, and Coach Rad really brought me into it. He showed me everything I needed to know, how to do this, how to get better, how to train, how to lift for it. Yeah, that's really how it started.
Now, you're also a football player.
Yeah.
And you got two guys. So you got Radzinski, who's kind of got his style. Then you got Mendola, who's got this style. Both got that, one's got the mustache, the other guy's got the beard or whatever. But when Rad kind of gets his meat hooks into you, it's kind of lights out for the athlete. Okay, I'm going to get this kid. I'm going to get him going. We saw what he was able to do and develop some of the girls, Julie the Titus and the coin girl and your distance runner and different things. But now, okay, he gets his meat hooks into you. Talk a little bit about him staying on you, because it's a lot of energy, right?
Yeah, it's definitely hard with balance of football and that, but he knows what he has to do. He says, get down to practice after you lift, you get your throws in, you train, and you condition. And yeah, it just works out. He's a good coach. He knows what you got to do to get you where you want to be. Yeah, he does that with just about everybody. He develops real good, and then you get really wherever you want to go.
And we get Coach Mendola. He's got his style about you. Hey, you gotta hit that way. We gotta get those power cleans in. Talk a little bit about being able to perform for him, and then there's that balance. Hey, you keep doing what you're doing with the javelin. You're doing good stuff there.
Yeah, so really just do our exercises and getting stronger up at football, which also helps with track. But there definitely is a little bit different lift for track that help. But Mendola really just wants us to be good, all-around athlete. Wants to be a good all-around athlete, and Brad really helps with that. He pushes that. Mel and him are really good friends, so they work it out. And we have our balance there. We get our lifts in. We come down. We practice. And we turn out being pretty good athletes and people.
Somehow, some way, you got to stay healthy. All that stuff. Talk a little bit about you don't want to be a worrywart, but at the same time, you want to make sure you're healthy. So talk about being able to kind of maintain that.
Yeah, we definitely try to get recovery days. I try to get my nutrition, my exercising, my stretching and yoga, whatever it takes to get what I need to do, because obviously I have a lot of stress on my body a lot of time, because all we're doing is training and lifting and exercising. So yeah, I'm really focusing on stretching, get my yoga and nutrition to stay healthy.
It's interesting with the javelin as well, as a lot of different body types. It's not always the guy who's 6'4", 250. It could be the guy who's 5'10", 193 pounds or whatever. So talk a little bit about that intimidation factor and just having the confidence saying, hey, I just got to go ahead and do my best.
Yeah, it's not always the big guys that can throw it far. It's sometimes usually the small guys that have real good technique that have been practicing and critiquing it for a long time. They honed in and got it all. And it's actually really surprising. You're throwing, I'm going to beat this kid, and he just smokes it with his technique. And it really just shows you that javelin's not all about just, I'm a really strong guy, I'm going to throw it real far. No, it's technique, and it really takes a lot of time and work to get where you want to be.
You talk to kids over the years, and especially lately, you hear kids say, hey, I kind of been watching the high jump, and by watching stuff on YouTube, I kind of learned it. Talk about, for you, have you put any time into watching technique, whether a YouTube video or things like that, to just try to perfect it a little better?
Yeah, I definitely spend a lot of time on YouTube trying to make my form like pros, because they can throw far, obviously. But I also realized javelin, you have to be loose, and it's almost like a sprinting event. You have to be fast, and you have to be like clear-headed when you're on the runway, because if you're not gonna get your best throw out. It's all just being loose. You have to be the right state of mind, and you also have to realize it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna throw this far because I'm strong and I'm big. No, you have to be loose, technical, and really just have to be like confident out there.
You could be quote unquote like tight out of meat, like, okay, man, I got a lot of people here, I got my family, I got a coach, and it can get a little nuts. So talk about that balance of being able to, like, all right, my dad, hey, if you just do this, this would help me a little bit, or coach, if I could just kind of get these stretches. Talk a little bit about like what you try to do to maybe train everybody so you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I try to keep them away a little bit for a little bit because I get real nervous before. I'm a pretty tight kid, so I have Brad like stretch me out and like help me go through drills before. I almost want to break a little sweat before I get out there, and then that really helps me perform at my best.
Let's talk about that family of yours, and obviously you wouldn't be anywhere without them, the support you get, and them pushing you along, whether it's in the classroom or on the track and field or football.
Yeah, my family helps me out a lot. They do it all for me. I couldn't be here without them. I wouldn't be doing what I do without them. They get me all my stuff I need to compete at my best. Really, like, I don't know what I'd do without them. They got me here. They take me where I need to go. I wouldn't have been to go to States or any of the places I need to go without them. And they really mean the world to me. I don't know what I'd do without them.
When you talk about, just being so determined, as you are, and getting everything together, talk about, what you think your future is. Do you think it's going to be Jav? You think, football could play factor? You think, I just might go to school one day, or is this heating up a little bit more with this Javelin thing?
Stuff heating up a little more, but I'm not actually sure what's going to happen. I'm just looking at increasing my numbers, improving in all my sports as a 3-sport athlete. Really just seeing where the wind takes me with what I do best at.
And as far as the atmosphere, so take us to States, to Nationals, and then the Jav Fest, and all your different throws, what you're able to do, and what those atmospheres were like. Kind of sum it all up for us this summer.
Yeah, it really was like a build-up. Districts was a highlight. I liked that. It was a lot of fun. Big PR. I held it for a while. And then States, that was new. I was nervous. There was a lot of people there, a lot of good athletes that honestly didn't know how I was doing, but then I showed up, I did what I had to do, and I threw my number obviously, and I was happy with that. And then we got a New Balance Nationals. Honestly, I was nervous there, not the best weather, but no excuses, I didn't have my best number, obviously I don't think I prepared right. But then we got the Jav Fest, I knew what I had to do because I was upset with my number. I threw it Nationals, I wanted to do better, wanted to put my number out there, wanted to show people who I am, and I got it out there and I'm happy with that.
Talk about that PR at Jav Fest in Stroudsburg, which is a huge.
Yeah, my 190. That was amazing. I don't know. I think I really was just confidence. I was happy to be there. I knew what I had to do. I was loose. I was fast on the runway. I was in the right state of mind. I just let one whip, I guess you'd say.
Football season's right here. It's almost August. What will Javelin look like between now and maybe January? Would be like a total shutdown, or we kind of get some weekend throws where you could?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need as much time as I can get to throw the javelin. I really don't want to lose any progress. I only want to go up from here. So I'm definitely going to get time in to throw on the weekends or whenever I can with Coach Rad or Coach Barry up at East Stroudsburg, my second coach. I'm really just going to get my time in. I don't want to lose anything. I want to get better because I'm really looking forward to the future in this.
All right, Hunter, good to catch up with you and keep it going, all right?
Thank you.